everybody. Welcome to Capes Not Included. My name is Danny J, along with LeGrand Jackson and my good friend Damian War Savage. Damian, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Damian?
Yeah?
We have a problem again. Dude. Go out. No sound. Go out. Go back in.
God damn it.
Click it off. Click it back on. Damian will be back in a second. The production value of this show is amazing. Anyway, welcome to Capes Not Included. My name is Danny J. Here on this show, we talk about all kinds of stuff, superhero, villains, geekdom. We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff. Today, we got a really special topic. I want to precursor to this because it's a topic that is going to be very interesting, but it's not to be taken in a certain light. We're going to be talking about the DC universe. It's not derogatory in any way, shape, or form. We're going to explain why. What today's topic is gays in the workplace. How gay is the DC universe? So, Damian, you're back. Can you talk?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Damian, you have no sound. What's
Oh, my.
Damian, talk again.
Hello, hello, hello.
Talk again.
Yes.
So that's
how odd. I got you on the same thing as, oh, it's me. It's my fault. Stupid.
Leave him alone.
All right. You can talk now. Okay, good. All right. So anyway.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah, it was me. You're on the same track as our intro. So.
Okay, Mr. DJ.
Yeah, baby. So anyway, it's gays in the workplace. How gay is the DC universe? We're going to be zero in on the Arrowverse, but also be talking about the comics and stuff like that. Basically, what we're talking about is this. All of us here are in full support of gay rights and lesbian and gay rights, and completely. We're not anti-gay in any way, shape, or form. I want that out there right now as a precursor. Damian is our close personal friend for 10 years plus. And Damian is a gay individual who is happily married to a lovely man. So he's going to bring us some aspect on this program as well. But what we're talking about is the CW. I probably have to go back to Warner Brothers more so than anything else. If you watch the Arrowverse, because this is really where it's like apparent, they go out of their way to be very, very PC. And I think it's safe to say, Damian, that nowadays the touchy subject are gays. Would that be a correct statement?
Well, I mean, it's not even exclusive to just the Arrow universe or even comics or movies in general. It's just, I guess you could say, our country is finally getting woke, as it were, about the LGBT community. It's been around since like the ancient Greeks when they were boning each other. But I mean, to be very honest with you, that's just a historical fact. But now, but people are recognizing that LGBT folk are no different than any other people who walk the face of the planet. But you take that much further than it needs to be when you start unnecessarily forcing, and you could apply it to any culture, but LGBT elements that might not necessarily belong in a given storyline or a given medium because it just doesn't need to be.
Right. Now you can consider yourself to a point a gay activist.
But yeah,
I'm not going to put back in the sidelines. In other words, you're not someone that's out there saying, I'm going to start a revolution, but you're in the same aspect. You're like, I'm picking up for gay rights. I'm a gay individual, that type of thing. That's a safe assumption, right?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's the same as my definition of spirituality. I'm happy to talk about it with people who would like to know more or would like to get exposed to my church or whatever, but I'm not going to evangelize and force it upon you.
Right. And this is what we're going to get at here. I'm going to go down the list. And I know you watch some of these shows and some of them you don't, but you're aware of it the way this is.
Oh, yeah.
Go down the list of, in the Arrowverse is what they commonly call it,
right?
Which is the DC's television universe. Starting with Supergirl, and I'll go literally down the line in the order that the shows appear on television. On Supergirl, the sister, Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers?
Yes.
Is her name? She's gay on the show. I don't think she's gay in the comic book, but she's gay in the Arrowverse. Okay. It was a big coming out type of thing, blah, blah, blah. It was, it seemed very, let's make this a point type of scenario that she's going to struggle with this and she comes out. So it was like a coming out episode. Okay. So now we're going to jump over to Arrow. Arrow has Mr. Terrific, who I believe in the comics is gay. I'm pretty sure.
Can't remember.
I don't remember, and that's something we could probably look up. But Mr. Terrific is a gay character, openly gay character in the comics. So that's cool. I don't have a problem with that because you're just keeping the character exactly the way he is. You understand what I'm saying? But now also in Arrow, they had a character for a brief time in one season known as Ragman. And although Ragman, I don't know, has any kind of affiliation with anything, period, in the comic books, I'm not fully familiar with that particular character. I know the character. I never really got into him. But on the Arrowverse, the character, they never alluded to it per se, but he was obviously very, very flamboyant. He was a gay individual on the show. Okay. Stereotypical. Yeah. Like it was like very obvious that he was gay and he just wasn't coming out and saying, I'm gay, because the character of Mr. Terrific was married to a man and had an open gay lifestyle, that type of thing. So it was kind of like that aspect where you had somebody that was gay and wasn't really saying anything and somebody that's gay that's open now. Okay. So now you have two characters on Arrow that are gay, and so, and I'm trying to go through them. That's good. So now you go to Flash. Okay. On Flash, the captain of the police department is gay. Okay. And I'm going to get into it a little bit sooner, but I have no fucking reason to even give a shit if the captain's gay or not. He's on one episode every 3 seasons. Okay. Why? you see where I'm getting with this. Okay. Then on Flash, his daughter from the future, her name is XS. She apparently Nora West Allen. She apparently, and I don't think this is in the comic books, but she apparently is gay because in the latest episode, we see her actually like crushing on the female evil person of the week, and the female evil person of the week is hitting back on her, and they make a comment that she's being hit on by this girl, blah blah blah, and she's like all loving up on this girl and shit like that. So they're like, all right, now she's gay. Now, I keep forgetting about this, so I have to go back an episode, go back to Arrow for a second. Arrow is very famous for doing flashbacks for a good amount of the seasons that we have. We're in season 7 or 8? 7? 7. Now in season 7, we're doing flash forwards, okay? So they're going forward in years because now Ollie has a son. And now we're seeing the son as an adult. And in these flash forwards, he's going and he's looking for his father because apparently something happened bad. And he goes to Leon U where Ollie was originally dropped off and blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to find him. And in one scene, and it's never mentioned again. And I'm not going to paraphrase because it was just such a stupid thing. It was literally just to make sure you knew that this was happening. He makes mention that this search for his father cost him his relationship with his boyfriend. So now Ollie's son is gay. Okay. And they literally just make this mention so that you know the kid's gay, and then they get off of it that quick. Okay. Now you go to Legends of Tomorrow. Sarah Lance is next door girl hot. The girl's hot. I just love watching this thing. She is like a dude, though, because she gets with every chick in every time period. That's hot. When a lesbian can go back in time and hit hot chicks from fucking the 1700s to the 20,000s and to everything like that. So Sarah Lance on her, she's gay, right? They throughout the entire.
Sharp, she turned out to be gay.
Which one?
Ava Sharp. She's the director.
Oh yeah, the director of the Time Bureau. She's gay because she gets now with Sarah.
Now they're a couple.
And then
bisexual.
Who? Constantine's bisexual. I never saw that happen anywhere. I don't know where that. I guess people have said that, but he's just like a kind of like a scumbag. So it's like it's not like don't put a label on it. He'll like just have sex with anybody type of thing. Is what they kind of alluded that with. But he's bisexual because they bring Earth X Captain Cold, who is gay on that world, and has a relationship with the Ray, who is an openly gay character in the comics and on the show. And he's having a flirtatious conversation with Constantine. So now, across those shows, you have all these gay interactions. I'm 44 years old as of this recording. Damien, I'm going to tell you right now, I know less than a dozen gay people.
Really?
Less than a dozen gay people. Now, I can know more, and they're not out.
He knows of.
That I know of, right? That I know of. Okay, let's put it that way. But first off, my problem with this, and once again, I am not anti-gay. Damien will tell you, I am very supportive. My point is with anything, be it religion, be it sexuality, be it your political views. Do not force your views on anybody. If you have your own views, if you do your own thing, God bless you, let you do that. But if it's not for me, then it's not for me. That's a very, for me, that's a very good way to be, to say, hey, I'm not gay, but if you want to be gay, go right ahead. I said everybody has a reason to be fucking miserable. If you want to get married, go get married. Okay? So if you want to do that, go right ahead. But with this aspect of what we're talking about, not only is like there a gay representation on every single show. Now I can go beyond the Arrowverse. If you go on Riverdale, they got 2 gay couples on Riverdale that just came out. Okay. Yeah. I don't watch Riverdale, but my daughter watches it, so I already had to catch an episode or two because I gotta wait for her to get done so I can get the TV. And on this show, they got gay guys, 2 gay guys on there, and then this one girl just came out to this other girl, and now they're a couple. Because all of a sudden, oh, I wasn't gay before, but now you came on to me, I'm gay. It was like a very weird fucking interaction. It was like very odd. And what I'm saying is that there's gay representation out the ass, which I don't think there needs to be. And the level of acceptance, like, in other words, they do not show the prejudice of people that are maybe against gays or whatever. Because let's say in reality, right, Damien, there's a reason why a lot of gay people are not out. And that would be to be shunned or to have prejudice against them. Right? And I'm saying it in the lightest form. I mean, God forbid these kids get beat up and stuff like that and get killed, God forbid. But I mean, that's the reality of the world. And in the DC universe, everybody's like, oh, so you're gay. Oh, okay, very good. Interesting. Do you play chess? You know, like it was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that part of it. How they don't make it real to that sense. Okay. And on top of it, I don't think, and I said this to somebody who was another comic book guy, and he was cracking up. If a building is falling on me, and you're a superhero, Damien, okay? You got superpowers. And a building's about to fall on me. Do you really fucking think I care that you prefer the same sex to the opposite sex when it comes to you fucking holding that building up from crushing me? Do you really think I give a shit?
Probably not, but
at that moment, right? I don't really care.
But then again, it depends on how you're framing the argument and in what kind of context, because you bring up a good point of the fact that a lot of portions of the DC universe and even other media that has nothing to do with comics just kind of brings the rosy side of gay acceptance or LGBT plus acceptance, which is fine. And there's one argument that would say that's entirely appropriate, because reality for people like me or people who are in the LGBT community and aren't capable or are not in a position to be out and open, reality sucks. So the last thing they want to do is then see that compounded in the TV shows that they watch, because they already know that they can't do this, that, and the third because of how they were born to be, which is to, whatever their sexual orientation happens to be. So in a sense, that would be a blessing to people like me who want to watch these shows or read these comics as an escape from a very harsh reality. But then on the flip side, if you have someone whose only chosen medium or place to get entertainment are these shows, right? And this is their way of trying to get exposure to what life is like in the LGBT scene, and they only have it through the viewpoint of, oh, everyone just likes us, there's never going to be a problem. But then they walk out their door and they're holding hands with their significant other who is of the same sex. They're assuming that because they watched the show that they're not going to get any flack for expressing themselves,
right?
And then it's gonna be a huge culture shock. So it swings both ways. It's a double-edged sword.
It's funny because, like, if you look Marvel versus DC, Marvel very realistic and grounded in their writing styles and their character development, i.e., the mutants, X-Men. That was all based on black-white prejudice to be written about, but instead of using race, they used mutancy as their mutation, as their racic scenario. So they were able to talk about racism, and they were able to talk about I don't like the word tolerance, because tolerance to me says, like, I don't like you, but I'm going to tolerate you. I don't tolerate LeGrand because he's a black guy. LeGrand is my friend. You understand? I don't like that word tolerant, but like they talk about, it allows them to talk about that in a candid format, but takes it off of the black-white scenario. DC is not a very grounded comic book universe. They're very fantastic. They're very mystical. It is very out of the ordinary. And I like you were saying, like, to sit there and say, I have a venue to watch where everything is rose-colored glasses. I mean, is that kind of like almost like, I don't want to say insulting, because it's like that's like best case scenario, or that's where they say in a perfect world they use that statement. You know what I mean? Like, is it something where you're like, come on, dude, this is like fucking bullshit?
Well, I mean, that depends on what kind of if that person's thought processes are high functioning, because I would like to think that a majority of people who watch this stuff who are LGBT or otherwise understand that reality is different than what they're watching on the television or reading in a comic book. So while they enjoy being entertained by these characters who are free to express themselves, whether or not it's canon to the storyline or whatnot is one thing, but at least they know that reality is something completely different. And that, again, is lost in translation with people who are just so invested in these characters and then live their best life through them. But then reality is something.
And somebody made a good point to me. And someone who also is like, I really don't, it's not for me, but I don't give a fuck if you're gay or not. It's not a scenario for me. But they said these characters are characters that I grew up with. And and this is a much older person than me. So you're going to remember these characters have been around for decades upon decades. Some of them 60 years, 75 years. So when you take a character who has, say, 70 years of a certain character development, and then in the last 5 years say, oh yeah, guess what? We're going to fucking flip it and make them gay. And then we're going to explore that. Like, I don't remember really, like, if you look at it, it's not candid to the character. Like, Batman is Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is a billionaire playboy. If Bruce Wayne was gay or bisexual or something like that, I could see it playing into the character because it's a part of the character. But if you turned around and said, oh, well, we're going to make Superman gay, Superman really never gets laid. Yeah, he's with Lois Lane. You never really see that relationship flourish.
It took him 60 years to get a hug.
Right? You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense, like, to sit there and say, oh, well, let's just not make characters gay for the sake of making them gay so they have representation. You know what I mean? Like, let's make it so it makes sense. But my point is, I think with all these superhero stuff, that they're battling these fantastic threats to mankind. That's a big thing. And that's a thing that nobody in reality really does. Damon, you're an activist. You do not fight for the sake of mankind. Is that a safe assumption?
Well, not in the fantastical way that Superman does, but on my level.
On your level, but you're, in other words, if you don't do that fight, is this planet going to be a fucking dust ball?
In the way that you're talking about,
right, the way I'm talking about, right? Exactly. Yeah. So my point being that, you know, if they made Superman gay, what would be the fucking point? We never see him fucking socialize. He's always fighting something. And understand, in these stories, although coming out and being able to be openly who you are, I don't like to even put labels on gay, not gay, whatever, to be able to be who you are and live your life the way it makes you feel good, right? Does that, in these stories, it seems like that's such a lower scenario than fucking Lex Luthor's going to blow up this half of the hemisphere. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, if the moon was coming crashing into the earth, Damien, would it matter if I knew you were gay?
Yeah.
It would matter?
I'm just screwing with you.
The fucking moon is coming into the earth, and we're all going to fucking fly off into fucking space, and our eyes are going to bulge out like they did in fucking Total Recall, right? And, you know, as soon as I say, oh, God, we're all going to die, you're going to sit there and say, hey, Dan, by the way, I'm gay. Just wanted to let you know. I mean, are you going to be like that?
Well, one, even,
I know you are, but you know,
even in the context of how you're framing the argument, one, it never comes out that way. Like, but on the flip side, you think about LGBT youth who are watching these shows, and they do pick up on the little nuances of these characters living. It isn't even a fact of choosing to live their best life. That is how they were born to be. Right. They are just recognizing that this is the time that they can finally enjoy that part of themselves. And for them to see a character that, no matter where they identify on the spectrum, is LGBT, whatever, for them to see this character that is able to stop that building, that is able to, you know, kick the moon's ass, as it were, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. As kind of fanatical or silly sounding as it seems, that's a great source of encouragement. Just on a greater scale, electing President Obama 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't think that a black person would have ascended that high, right or wrong. Thankfully, he did, and he changed a lot of minds in the process for the better. Right. But on a much smaller scale, again, it's very empowering for LGBT youth and other people in the community to see those kinds of fantastical characters that just happen to be, you know, gay, lesbian, non-binary, whatever the case may be. Hopefully we get to a point when, after all three of us on this show are dust in a can, that being gay or being lesbian will be just as inconsequential as you liking scrambled eggs and me liking an omelet. That's really what it should ultimately come down to. It shouldn't even matter.
Do we think secretly that they are just really into the superheroes because they can wear tights?
No. You're trying and you're bad.
You were such a high, and you did such a great job. I had to fucking shoot that motherfucker down like real quick.
He's so eloquent, and
he was perfect. It was great.
Beautiful listening to him. And then, Eddie, you know,
just like tights.
I mean, honestly, that is like you thinking some girl is next door hot or whatever that is. The same difference.
Yeah.
It's just a different preference, that's all.
Yeah, that's all
See,
it is.
for me, I have a problem with. I think they're just trying to capitalize.
That too.
You
That's
know,
another thing. It's a big
a
subject.
It's a marketable thing right now. They can make money off of it. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to try to make money off this group.
And you know what?
That's what gets me upset.
I think they look at it as like the gays.
Yes.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I think they look at it as the gays.
Because they used to do it with the blacks.
Right.
And the Asians and this, that, and the other. Let's put these characters out there. Let's give them something to latch on to so we can make money off of it.
God forbid somebody who's gay might like fucking comic books. God forbid. Because what a stereotypical thought process to say, Damien, you're a gay individual, so you must like My Little Pony more than you like superheroes. I mean,
I honestly do. The old one. The really, really super old one.
Well, we'll do a show on that one. We'll be all the talking. Because I have not a fucking clue about fucking My Little Pony. So you can do the whole fucking show. I'll just say, okay, very good.
Kind of like I did the last 2 episodes.
Oh, God. So, I mean, as a gay individual, let me ask you this, because we're getting ready to close the show up soon. Do you think it's too much, what they're doing? Based on what they're doing right now, we kind of understand what they're going for. We understand what they're doing. Is it necessary? Is it too much? Is it not enough?
I'll be very honest with you. I don't think it's too much. It really comes down, at least in my perspective, a matter of authenticity. Because if they aren't authentic and genuine about how they want to project to the LGBT community or how they want to represent it, same goes for politicians or anyone else, or musicians who all of a sudden come to the realization that they might be bisexual. Like Aaron Carter, for example. He mentioned it so he could get some hits on a record, and then you never heard anything about his sexuality after that. That pisses me off. Right. So if the DC universe is behaving in much the same way, like Grand was just saying, I mean, shame on them, and it'll be on us to ultimately.
You know what? I mean, I look at it as a student of writing, because when I went to college, I did script writing, I did all kinds of stuff, and when I saw that, I was like, I made fun of it because of like, oh my God, there's a fucking, which gay person's going to be on this show? Which gay? Oh yeah, Black Lightning. I forgot about Black Lightning. I don't know why I forgot about Black Lightning, but the daughter's gay on that, by the way. She's a lesbian.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, lesbian stuff like every other episode, and it's like whatever. So there's your gay. So gays are in the projects as well. It ain't just fucking in the high rises of fucking whatever. Oh, Freeland's a fucking problem. Shut up. Freeland's like fucking, I don't even want to say it. I'm going to offend a township near here. I was gonna say. But
wait a minute. Black Lightning, well, he was until, I don't know how many people have watched the recent episodes. He was the principal of the school. He was the most respected man in the fucking city.
Yeah.
He had like 3 houses. It ain't no project.
It was a project. He's a kingfish in a small pond, is what it is.
Oh boy!
He had the nicest house on the hill. That's about it.
He did, though.
But no, but his daughter's gay in there. Okay, so we're like, all right, there's your gay representation in that show as well. But it's almost like I'm looking for the gay representation now because it was a joke. But as a writer, as someone who is worried about the story and how the story is going to go along, when they did that flash forward. And this is the only one that, honestly, out of all the examples I said, this is the one that offended me. And when they did that flash forward, and it's Ollie's son, and he just makes that comment to show that he is gay, just to show that he was gay.
Yeah.
And it has no fucking bearing on him finding his father. It has no bearing on his character as a potential superhero in the beginning, or whatever the case is. That's the problem I physically had with it. And I was like, now you're just fucking reaching out there and you're trying to be fucking tolerable. And once again, it goes back to that word I don't like, tolerance. Tolerance just means I still don't like you, but I'm not going to fight with you right now. That's what that means to me. you know, and that was it's something that pissed me off about it, you know. And I watch those shows and I watch them religiously, and they do a fantastic job with the Arrowverse. I love every fucking show that I watch on there, but it's just, to me, it's just so over the top when you're sitting there and doing that, and it's one of those things where it's like, I don't see where this moves the story along. That there's fucking 8 million gays in the fucking DC universe, and the fact that they're gay does nothing for any of the stories whatsoever.
Well, I know you have to end this episode really quickly, but I mean, just by what you just said, that's a form of tolerance of the Arrowverse, because you're willing to still, I mean, I'm not bashing you for it, but you're willing to continue to be knowledgeable, watch and read and all this stuff, knowing that there's this segment of it that you don't like because you feel that they're disrespectful.
Well, I understand that, like, I love what they do regardless of that. And yeah, you're right. It is a tolerance scenario, but I don't care that any of them are gay.
You shouldn't.
I don't fucking give a shit at the end of the day that any of them are gay, because you don't see them date. You don't see them have sex. It ain't like Netflix. If you watch like Netflix and Marvel shows on Netflix, they're like practically Cinemax. Especially watch Jessica Jones season 1.
Before you get yourself in trouble, I'll stop you right there, because everyone knows that I'm pretty homosexual. They don't see who I bone. They don't see what I do behind doors. But they understand it is a very important part of who I am. It's not everything that I am, but it does represent a huge reason why I advocate not only on behalf of myself, but others who don't have that voice.
Real quick, because we do have to actually stop the show. We're over. If it wasn't a coming out issue, go back to a statement you said earlier where you said, after we're all dust, and it's about as insignificant as liking water versus soda. Would you be an advocate then? Or would you have to be an advocate then?
I would be proud that I helped move the compass in that direction. That's what I would be.
But in the sense that if it was like that, would it matter then? What would the... Because what you described to me is a, for lack of a better term, a fight for equality in a sense, right? And, you know, obviously these are the efforts that these companies, these shows are doing, etc. You know, and the point I'm making is that I think it's a little too much. You know, it's like, I understand you know, CW, I understand you support gays. I don't need you to fucking make every fucking 98% of the fucking people gay in any of these shows, because that's an unrealistic fucking thing. But those people like everything. There's people that are asexual and don't fucking even have sex. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, let's fucking do that. Let's have fucking 6 fucking seasons of a show where nobody has fucking sex and they're all miserable. Let's do that.
You know, we do that already. That's called reality.
It is called reality. It's called marriage. It's called marriage, Dave. That's what it is. That's what it's called. Sweet Jesus. Well, we had a great time today. Thank you, Dave, for your being very candid on this. I really appreciate you on this, and I appreciate you. It's just a great topic. If anybody has any comments and everything, keep them to yourselves. I don't really want to fucking talk about it anymore. How open was that, right? Ah, he's so tolerant, this fucking guy. We talked about this show in pre-production, and Damien was like, this is going to be such a shit show. And it wasn't a shit show, was it?
No, because you had 2 people helping to keep your ass.
Oh, don't fucking blame me, dude. Don't fucking blame me.
We were the guardrail, man.
Jay, hero of the gays. I'm telling you right now.
No, we don't need you. No. We don't want you.
Not even with tights.
Oh, no. Okay, John.
He's like, no, not with tights either. Oh, my God. Go to DJB Productions on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. We have such great content on here, and we're building more and more shows and stuff like that. And we're actually going to get more shows, some of them without me on them. Go figure. But we're going to be building the channel up. We're going to have a lot of different stuff. You can see That Way Cool Wrestling Show in there. You can see DJs After Dark, and of course, Capes Not Included, with this great group of guys here. Bobby Taylor is going to be on the show very, very soon. As soon as we get that situated. What's that?
Hawkman.
Hawkman. Is that Hawkman or is that the Black Hawk Squadron?
No. Hawkman.
Is that Hawkman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was Thundercats.
It's a fucking bird, Damien.
Hey, isn't that Fraggle Rock?
Isn't that Fraggle? Yeah. That's Gobo, right? That's fucking. I bet you if you fucking redig fucking Fraggle Rock, there'd be a gay Fraggle in that fucking show.
Well, yeah.
I bet you there would be.
You're cruising for a bruising.
I know, right? But I'm just saying. Let's fucking make Gobo. No, not Gobo. It would be that fucking the Bohemian bitch. What was that one? What was her name? The one with the long sweater.
Why are you hating on Fraggles, man?
You know what I'm talking about? No. She had the purple hair, and she was like purple, and she had the green fucking turtleneck sweater. It looked like Edie Brickell as a Fraggle.
No, we're not doing this.
No.
We're getting out of here. We're over. So for Damian War Savage, for LeGrand Jackson, my name is Danny J. Until next time, keep your cape in the wind and keep your eyes in the stars. Have a great day, everybody.